You are watching Big 12 Baseball Tournament on ESPN. From the desert in Phoenix, Arizona, the Valley, Surprise to be exact, it's the Baylor Bears versus the Kansas Jayhawks. Game 2 of the quarterfinals here from Surprise Stadium in Arizona. Let's take a look at the bracket. Earlier today, Oklahoma State with a 12-6 victory moves on to the semifinals, awaiting the winner of the regular season champion Kansas Jayhawks against the Baylor Bears. Later this evening, West Virginia and Kansas State, Arizona and Cincinnati. Good afternoon, everybody. Keith Morrow along with Connor Wahanen. Connor, when we saw the earlier games today, we saw a lot of offense. When you look at these two teams here with Baylor and Kansas, Kansas creates a lot of offense, especially at the top of their lineup.
Yeah, they sure do. Tyson LeBlanc is first team all Big 12 performer, the only one on the offensive side for Kansas in that category. It's a Kansas team that it's a different guy that does it every game in and game out. That's the Jayhawks formula. And
then on the other side, you look at Janusek, who has been an outstanding young freshman for the Baylor Bears. He's been that guy that has produced a lot of different things. Offensively, he hits with power, he can run, he's hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's just been a real positive for this Bear ball club.
Yeah, it's been really impressive what he has done just as a young freshman, a staple in that three-hole. 3 for 5 yesterday in a win against BYU, including that long ball. 5 RBIs for Janusek, the freshman. We talked about Tyson LeBlanc on the other side and what he's done in his first team all Big 12 performance type of year. It's been fantastic, and he's been the one guy that has really produced some long ball with regularity. 19 home runs this season. That's the third most in Jayhawk history. With the way that this ballpark is playing today, there is a lot of extra base hits to be had out there. We've seen it all week here in Surprise. Expect to see more of it Saturday.
Yeah, and you look at Kansas, they've been very good at spreading it around. A lot of different people make contributions. When you look at the lineups for the Bears, from the top to bottom, it's really so top heavy, and you hate to say that, but these three guys at the top have been so good for them. You know, you've got to find a way to get around those in the lineup.
Yeah, Travis Sanders, Tice Armstrong, Brady Janusek, as we just talked about, those are the guys that do a lot of the heavy lifting for Baylor. And if you're the Bears, if you can manufacture some traffic on the base paths with your second half of the order to flip the lineup to these guys, that's going to be the winning formula against the regular season champs.
And they're going to go against a right-hander. And you look at it, Connor, when you look at what he brings to the table, they just consistency. That has been what I look at this Kansas ball club, and I just see consistent from top to bottom.
Dominic Vagley has been a staple of this Kansas pitching staff for a long time, making his 15th start of the year. He's punched out 178 in the third inning. You see a fastball up 95, 96 miles an hour. Has a slider and a curveball that he'll go to as well with a changeup. It's a 4-pitch mix, and what that does, it creates a lot of challenges for hitters at the plate, because you've also got to deal, Keith, with the velocity that he has.
Yeah, he's got good velocity, but I think the command is what really has jumped off the page for me. And the other part of this Kansas team who won the Big 12 regular season title, first title they've had since the 1940s. But this right here, when you look at their overall defense, this has been a very solid defensive ball club.
Yeah, Dan Fitzgerald in his 4th year at the helm for Kansas, and what he's done is put together a culture that is pitching the ball really well, but they're also playing sound defense. Solis, Owens, and Bach across the outfield. Schlotterbeck and LeBlanc on the left side of the Kansas infield. Baldrige, Dykhoff on the right side, and Augusto Mungarrieta will catch for Dominic Vagley, with Dariel Osorio, the designated hitter, here today.
Yeah, and you look at this, these guys, second game of the day. First game goes nearly 4 hours. They've been around the ballpark for a long time. It's a warm afternoon. Will that have any effect? You played in a lot of these types of tournaments. Does it have any effect when you're going to be over an hour late to get started from what you think your schedule time?
I mean, maybe, but I think these guys, especially Kansas, the way that they've played and the culture that Jan Fitzgerald and this era of the coaching staff have created, they're playing really loose with a ton of confidence. This is a team that was at the top of the standings in the Big 12 regular season for almost the entirety. It was almost a wire-to-wire type of run for this Jayhawk team. And now, as they're poised to host a regional, they're playing with a ton of moxie right now.
A really nice play to his left, and right off the bat, you see great defense. LeBlanc does a great job of going to his left. we talked about his offense, but how about that play right there to start the ball game against Sanders?
And then the pick on the back end for Dykoff over at first base. When you've got a team that's playing like this, and we'll get into the bigger picture, Keith, but you're in the national landscape. Kansas right now poised position to be a host site, even if they're able to do some damage here in Surprise. But you're excited to play baseball in Lawrence right now.
Well, there's no question. I mean, we'll get into it right now because we're going to talk about it a lot today. I mean, I think they're not a national seed, but I think they're going to host a regional. And if you've not been to see where Kansas plays, right beside Allen Fieldhouse, it's just a gorgeous ballpark built in there. It would be fun to see a regional in that ballpark.
Yeah, and that atmosphere for Kansas home games this year has been rocking. You've seen clips of it all season long. The support that this club has gotten from the Kansas students, alumni all around Lawrence as well. The community has really bought into Jayhawk baseball, and rightly so. They're getting great product on the field.
Armstrong will step in. What a year this young man has had. Just a phenomenal right-handed hitter. Nothing like opening your season and that pitch in there for a strike and then the strikeout. So 2 quick outs for the Kansas right-hander.
Well, you can't luck your way into 100 punch-outs on the season, and this is what Dominic Bagley can do to you. You've got to be ready for 96, potentially 97 if he bumps it, but then flips a slider in here. If you're looking for it, not a bad pitch to hit that breaking ball in the inner half, but it gets Tice Armstrong for out number 2.
Well, it's hard to look for a breaking ball in. That pitch dead hitting. Janusak will reach first base. What a year he's had. The top 3 guys in this Bear lineup under the direction of Mitch Thompson have been really good all season.
I see this one just leaking a little bit too far inside, gets away from Bagley. It looks like that maybe clips the jersey of Janusak.
If you're going to get hit, it's rather be a jersey than a body part.
Sure thing.
Reebok will step in. Pearson from the left side. There goes the runner. Swinging at the first pitch. You look at the Bears. Mitch Thompson, head coach in his 4th season. They're going to press the envelope. They offensively don't have a tremendous amount of power. Not a team that hits a ton of balls out of the ballpark. But they're going to try to force you. They have 93 stolen bases on the year. So they're going to run and run often. Yeah,
anytime you've got an opportunity to try and get a runner into scoring position, Baylor's going to do it, especially with the top half of their lineup. Travis Sanders, the leadoff man's got 24 bags. Brady Janusak, who's over at first base, he's 17 and 22 and has a big lead right now here with 2 outs in the first.
Fastball in there for a strike. It's quickly 0-2. This morning's ball game. Oklahoma State Cowboys move on in this single elimination tournament to the semifinals. A little bit different weather conditions now here in game 2 of this 4-game day. Runners off, but a swing and a miss for the strikeout. The second of the inning. And the Bears are down here at the top of the first. We go to the bottom. We come back to the bottom of the first inning. You look at the Kansas Jayhawks batting order. We don't have anybody highlighted because it's unique in this offense. They are so equal from top to bottom. Obviously, Tyson has got some good numbers, but everybody in this lineup has been a factor at some point, one way or another.
Yeah, that's been the most impressive thing, I think, for Kansas, is you don't necessarily have a stable of 2 or 3 guys that do all of your lifting. Only 3 batting averages in this lineup that are over 300 right now. But you watch Kansas play, it's a different guy every night. And that causes a lot of headache for opposing pitching staffs. You cannot have a lapse of focus at all, because anybody up and down this lineup is liable to do their damage.
Yeah, you look at everybody's got 25 to 40 RBIs, and it's, you know, each night it's a different guy. And they're going to be facing Zach Wallace, excuse me, and he's making, you know, the appearance. He's 5-5 on the year, his 12th start of the year. He's a guy that keeps you in ball games.
Yeah, you're not going to punch a lot of hitters out. Only 40 and 59 and 2/3 innings of work on the year. So when you're a contact guy like that, Keith, it becomes all about location. And can you stay out of trouble, especially against Tyson LeBlanc, who will get things started here for Kansas.
LeBlanc will step in, and he's had a really good year, and he just promptly hammers this ball to center. Boy, he has had a really good year. You look at his numbers, 373. That's his 61st hit of the year right there.
This is a team right now, walking around is very different from Kansas teams you've seen over the past decade or so. And they know how good of a season that it's been. And it's not arrogance at all, but it's confidence to know that, you know, you've gone through an entire regular season, clinching the Big 12 regular season championship, but now you're poised to make a deep postseason run if you're the Jayhawks right now.
I think that they will play well here. I'm not saying they need to win today, but if they put themselves in great position to be a host. Chop steps on first. The throw to second is in time. That is the hardest double play to turn. 3-6 after getting the force play at first base. And just like that, Armstrong does a really nice job here.
This is really well executed. And you said it's the hardest double play to turn because there are so many moving parts. Not only, you can see this window, that's a great look at it, that Tyce Armstrong has to throw that ball in there. He's got the umpire that's on the inside part of the baseline. You've got the base runner that's heading there in a small window to try and fit that in. It's like a screen pass that he's got to flip his hips to and throw to the outside.
Yeah, and the other thing people don't give it a, shortstop's got to find the ball and make the tag. It's all the toughest there is.
Now, you practice those every day, but very seldom do you actually get the opportunity, and Baylor executes it here.
Baldridge will step in. Cade. Count evens at 1-1. Wallace is a guy, strike thrower. You know, you hate to say that about people, but there are certain people that just throw strikes in and out, up and down, change the speeds. Not going to overpower you, but as a guy plays defense, and you played a lot of defense behind pitchers, you love those guys that get it and go and throw strikes.
And they keep you on your toes, and you've got to be engaged in the game as a defender. We've talked about how this ballpark here, Surprise Stadium, is playing. You're going to have outfielders that are well back.
Could change the speed with a breaking ball. Comes up with a strikeout. After the leadoff base hit. Excellent double play in the strikeouts. We're through one. No score here from the desert. Sunday, catch some afternoon Major League Baseball on ESPN as the Yankees head to Kansas City to take on the Royals. First pitch, 3:30 Eastern. You can catch it live on ESPN, or you can watch it on the game streaming on the ESPN app. We go to the top of the second. Keith Moreland, Connor Wonhonen from Game 2 of this 4 games today in the quarterfinal round of the Big 12 baseball tournament. Surprise Arizona. 5-6-7 due for the Bears here. Clements will step in. The DH from the right side. This is outside, and it's 2-0. Connor, in your time as an offensive player, when you saw a guy you knew that was going to throw strikes and had said, did you make a game plan to look for a pitch? I always ask these college hitters, you know, like they're 2-0 break. It's not something you would be thinking about looking for.
No, and especially with the mix that to it, you're trying not to fall into his trap, which is going to be mix and match speeds and location. So yeah, you're looking for something probably firm that is up in the zone.
On the ground, left side, great play defensively. What a play! Boy, we see some web gems. About as good as it can be done right there by Baldridge.
Oh, we've seen it already. LeBlanc got it started in the field at shortstop, and Cade Baldridge says it's my turn. See how far he's got to run over into the hole, slides through, but then the toughest part to this to get up and make an accurate throw to first base. That's full extension on that slide. It has to get a lot on that to try and get the base runner. Well done by Baldridge at second base.
Wow. Find your target too, because you're sliding, twisting, turning. As Perez steps in.
Yeah, that is a low percentage throw because everything is moving towards that right field line.
This ball hit well by Perez, but lined right out to right. There to make the play. 2 quick outs. Defense makes an outstanding play, and then a line out. As the pitcher, you're sitting out there, says, I didn't even break in a sweat, albeit it is a hot afternoon.
Yeah, it is, and we're going to see the sunshine. It'll be interesting to see how firm the playing surface gets as it continues to warm up. We saw some big bounces on balls chopped into the dirt earlier.
Cannon steps in. Braden, catcher. This is the first one for strike 1. Austin, Texas native. Up and in. Count evens at 1-1. And then all of a sudden, under your chin and drop a breaking ball in there for a strike. That makes it fair.
Well, and you can see that the just composure that Vagley has. A decorated freshman campaign a couple years ago, but now's a guy that's been around the game for a long time, just knows how to pitch.
Yes, he does. He comes back with a really good bender, and 1, 2, 3 go the Bears. In the top of the second, we go to the bottom. 0-0 ball game. 0-0 ball game. 77 years in between championships. 2026, Big 12 champion Kansas Jayhawks. You have to go back, Connor, to the Big 8, 1949, last time Kansas won a crown in the regular season.
Yeah, look at that. That is an awesome picture. The history.
We got to see that one. We get that back up just to see those two trophies are pretty impressive.
Yeah, it just gives good credence to how long that it's been and the job that this coaching staff, what Dan Fitzgerald and this regime has done over the past 4 years to bring that elite level of baseball back to Lawrence. Yeah, I know that the celebration there for Kansas, that is a long road to get to that point, especially in this era, last decade plus in the Big 12.
And they've done it in a lot of different ways. Excellent in the recruiting ranks, junior college recruits, and finding ways to get guys to fit a system. What a great job they have done at putting themselves in position. Another leadoff base hit here, and this ball crushed to left field with some carry. It's 2-0. Get out of town. That ball was crushed.
Now this one almost finds the parking lot for the catcher, Augusto Mungarrieta. And you talk about the ball flying. This is what we mentioned earlier, Keith. You have no idea what's going to happen.
He flipped the bat way down the line here. That's what the conversation is about. They're going to bring the umpires together. I mean, he was at least 2/3 down the line when the bat came out of his hands, and that's what the conversation is about excessive celebration maybe. But Augusto hit that ball about as far as you can hit a baseball.
Yeah, we've not seen one go that far here in Surprise Stadium in this Big 12 tournament. You see the flips and the chains in the dugout. It's become part of the game at this level.
Waiting, and they get together. This is not a review. This is a discussion between the 4 umpires.
All right, so after crew consultation, it's going to be a Kansas warning, bench warning for unsportsmanlike conduct. Okay, that goes for all types of unsportsmanlike conduct.
Not sure what is. They're not going to change anything. Now, Mitch Thompson out to find out the explanation as we get a chance to see what we were talking about. He absolutely crushes this, and he's holding onto the bat down the line, and he is nearly 2/3 down the line and then flips the bat. And you see, he is almost way down the line. It's a long way to carry the bat with you.
It is a long way now, but you see what also went a long way is that baseball. Get that well up above the bullpen out in left field. Had a long time to look at that one, did Mungarrieta. And that was a bench warning that was issued to Kansas for excessive celebration. So something to monitor the rest of the way. But at least for the time being, 2-0 lead for the regular season champs.
3rd hit of the ball game. First extra base hit as leaves the ballpark. Wallace comes right back with a strike. Bears down 2-0 here. Ball misses downstairs. Bach. Step in. British Columbia native. He's a senior. Popped up left side. A lot of room in foul territory, but this gets back out of play. You got 2 hitters up here calling this game. We both look out there and see all that space and go, this is a pitcher's park.
Man, this a lot of space out there.
Back off the I like the dugouts and the sidelines being about 5 foot off the baselines. I don't want any foul territory.
Well, you get a look at it here too, and there's a lot of space behind home plate. Something to monitor. That's a brick surface back there. The ball will bounce off.
Wallace comes back with his second strikeout. Just taking a look at it, we got here. We saw some balls that were being thrown bounce off of it. Boy, it did hit at a big ricochet. We talked about being a strike thrower. He's thrown 15 pitches. Only 3 of them outside the zone. Slaughterback will step in. Third baseman. Lakeway, Texas native. Fouls this ball back. Back out of play. Slider misses outside. Wallace, 2-1 delivery. Misses with the fastball. Hitters count now 3-1.
I saw that swing on the foul ball earlier. This is one I think if it's in the hitting zone, you're going to see a big cut from Slaughterback.
Downstairs, something Wallace doesn't do very often. With the 1-out walk.
Just the 15th walk of the year for Zach Wallace. That's an over 60 innings pitch now. So yeah, you said the name of the game has been command for him.
So he steps in. And this is a lineup, though, that just keeps coming at you. They're all aggressive. From the Bronx, New York. Out in front of that breaking ball. And it's quickly 0-2. To the DH. Able to check his swing.
Still up 1-2 here. We've seen him go to slider away. I wonder if he tries to get that chase outside the zone.
Went for a breaking ball. Bobbled. This is going to lead to a base runner. Sometimes you just get a little bit of too big of a hurry.
This one will go down as a clean E5 here. Just does not corral that. You see it got way up into his hips there. It's tough to field it when it gets so far into your body like that. Ball jumbles around a little bit for Cole Langcloss over at third base. It will lead to another base runner here. 2 men on for the Jayhawks.
So Lee steps in. He hammers this ball but hooks it foul. I will say this, the Jayhawks they've come hacking.
Yeah, they do not appear to be interested in a one and done and slide into the regional round. This is a team that very clearly has the mentality of if there's a trophy to play for, we'd like to win it.
Ball pull foul. It's been a long time since the Big 12 has had a regular season champion win the Big 12 tournament. I think you go back to 2009. It's the last time that happened.
Believe that was probably a team that was wearing burnt orange.
Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball right there.
That's a nice job making an adjustment there for Wallace. Goes to a breaking ball, gets another punch out. Talked about how he's not a guy that necessarily racks those up, but already his third of the day on the mound here.
Yeah, Kansas on the season hits .323 with runners in scoring positions. That's a phenomenal number as a team. Now back to the top of the order.
And if you're not going to live and die by the home run, like we've seen some of the slug numbers that Arizona State has, that Oklahoma State has, you've got to be able to come through in those RBI situations.
Absolutely.
And that's what this Jayhawk team has done all year.
Wallace a pitch away from limiting the damage to 2. See if he can get that done. 30th pitch of the ball game coming. Ball hit well to center, but playable, put away by Johnson. But game changed on one swing.
14th of the year for the catcher, Mungarieta. 2-0 Jayhawks heading to the third.
The journey to Oklahoma City in the Women's College World Series continues with the Super Regional. It's Florida versus Texas Tech, Saturday at 12:30 Eastern Time on ABC, ESPN, and streaming on the ESPN app. Trying to punch their ticket to Oklahoma City. 2-0 Kansas as we go to the top of the third inning. It will be 8-9-1 due for the Bears. First pitch in there for a strike. We've seen two guys that are trying their best to attack the zone so far, Connor.
Well, they are, and we talked about this with Baylor offensively and what their outlook has to be. And you mentioned it being 8-9-1. Can you get a couple of men on and flip that lineup over to Sanders, Armstrong, and Janusek, who have carried a lot of the load as far as the RBIs are concerned for Baylor? Very top heavy in that category for this Bear lineup.
Senior from Flower Mound, Ty Johnson will step back in. Gets a piece of it, fouls it off. Remains 1-2.
We talked about Dominic Vagley, the Big 12 Freshman of the Year a couple of years ago. And this year it's very much been a bend but don't break. Has not had an outing, Keith, that he's not allowed to run. Has been scored on every time that he's been out there, but has continued to have a successful campaign in the starting slot.
Right into the shift. As they shift with 2 strikes, it's interesting. You see a lot of that in college baseball. Before the pitch with 2 strikes, they make the shift. Johnson hits it right into it. That's 6/4-3 because it's a shortstop on the second base side.
Yeah, that is one thing that the shift has affected, has certainly been scoring. You got shortstop on the right side of the field,
but he gets
vice
a put
versa.
Out, but it's hard to put 6-3 when you know what the ball went to second base. Close will step in. That ball nicked him. Yep. So a one-out base runner. Second hit batter from the Kansas right-hander.
Shortstop, number 6, Travis Sanders.
We're back to the top of the order. Well, this is close.
Yeah, just a little bit of contact here off what looked like that front elbow for Langklaus. He turns out of the way. That's just the natural movement there. It looks like it maybe clips that Big 12 patch on the side of the jersey. Yeah, those are the ones you want to take, not the ones right off the meat of that front leg.
Or the back of that tricep. Sanders steps in. Grounded to short his first time up. Breaking ball misses outside for ball one. Fastball in there for a strike. Straight away in the outfield. A little bit to pull in the infield for Sanders. There goes the runner. Ball in the dirt. It's going to be a stolen base. We talked about the fact that a major part of the Bears offense is running. That's their 94th successful steal of the year.
Yeah, you've got to be able to manufacture. For Langklaus, just 2 of 3 in that category before taking second here. His 3rd bag of the year. Puts himself into scoring position. Baylor trying to break through for their first run of the afternoon.
The 2-1. Big hack comes up empty. The count evens. On the ground, could be a tough play. Got to hit a pitcher on the run. What a nice athletic play. That is a tough play. Running away and reach down behind you and not only catch it, but find the bag as well.
Yeah, this does not look as complicated as it is in real time, and especially for Vagley on the mound. A little bit of an awkward angle because of the shift. You see the first baseman, Josh Dykoff, shifted over. So Vagley's got to be, all of his momentum is moving towards first base. That throw is behind him, so he's got to reach back there, secure the baseball, but then also make sure that he gets his foot down to first base. It's well done by Vagley on the mound.
Armstrong will step in and take a high fastball. First time you've seen the Bears this season, folks. Armstrong, opening day, 3 grand slams. Opening day of the season. Never even heard of such.
Yeah, 12 RBIs can be a pretty good month for a lot of guys, let alone an opening day.
But he's quickly down. No balls and 2 strikes here.
And you don't see a lot of power numbers like that coming out of Waco, just with the way that the ballpark plays down there as well. But Armstrong has been outstanding.
This ball hammered on the ground. Long throw across the diamond in time. That was a nice play because that ball was hit hard. Bears threaten but come up empty. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. 2-0 Jayhawks.
Omaha, Nebraska, the epicenter of college baseball. Teams holding their breath for a chance to dogpile in America's heartland. It's the NCAA Baseball Selection Show with watch parties all over the country. Let the road to Omaha begin.
Oh, there's some people that would be holding their hands in their head, hoping, and then there's some teams that are pretty sure they're in. They're just wondering where they're going to go or if they're going to host. You can see the bids. A single season in the Big 12, 8 in 2025. Don't know that you're going to have 8 this season.
You might get 7, and I know last night a tough night for the Horned Frogs, TCU, that we're certainly hoping to get at least 1 in this tournament.
Now I think they're in a situation, it is TCU, where you got to hope there's no bid stealers. And what I mean by that is somebody in one of the one-bid leagues that wins the conference tournament, but you have a team that has a good RPI and probably is going to be selected by the committee. So it's one of those things where it's not in your hands right now, and sometimes that's really hard stomach sometimes because you no longer have anything to do with it.
Well, and as players, as competitors, you want to have control over every single thing.
Yep.
If we're going to miss, we want it to be because we did something of our own accord, not having to wait around and then obviously let the metrics play out as they will, and have a committee that tries to make as an objective as a decision as they can. But Keith, with so many teams, it's so hard to do.
It is. I mean, you look at the game we have right there. Kansas would love to compete for the tournament championship. A swing and a miss. He just tagged out at the plate. But they're in the tournament. It's just a question of whether they're a host or not a host. I mean, they're right on that cusp. I mean, in that area where you would think that they've got a great shot. Swing and a miss right here. Tag out at the plate. On the other side, when you look at the Bears got to win this tournament to get in.
Yeah, I think that's a correct assessment as well. And so we talked about this in the first game today, but two very different mentalities. Right now for Kansas and Dan Fitzgerald, what he's talking to his team about, you're trying to solidify that question of, hey, are we a host?
Yes.
I think absolutely the resume says yes, but we can absolutely take the decision out of the equation if we come and play some great baseball here in Arizona. On the other side of things, for Baylor, you're trying to extend your season 1 game at a time, and to do that, you're going to have to knock out the regular season champs here today.
It caught him in the hand. Well, we've seen it. A lot of balls close to hitters. Didn't sound like it caught him square, but just enough.
Yeah, not a whole lot of solid contact on these, just flirting around the strike zone a little bit. A couple that have just leaked a little bit too far one direction or the other. This one leads to another hit by pitch, and Cade Baldridge will head down to first base. This one looked like just grazes that bottom hand a little bit. One of those guys that's wearing the protector that goes over that bottom hand.
Wyckoff will step in. Chopper up the line. Does he get it fair? Yes, he does. And sometimes Armstrong comes to get that. When you get those outs, you got to attack that and get that. Make sure you get it in fair territory.
Yeah, down the first base line, you want to take this one fair as much as you possibly can.
Yes.
Down the third base line,
let it go. Let it go.
Much tougher play for Cole Langklaus over there on those.
Ungarieta hit that mammoth home run, and we had the discussion after he carried the bat with him in the long big bat flip right before he got to first base. Steps back in, but hit it a ton to left field for the only runs of the ball game. Breaking ball. Nice play by Buchanan. Picked that one. Wallace tried to sneak that one in on the inside corner. 2-1 now. Off of the hands out to right. Looking up into the sun, coming on quickly. Puts it away. Janusak. And we're through 3. Kansas with a 2-0 lead. Third of the game in the books as we go to the top of the 4th. Kansas leads Baylor 2-0. We take this opportunity to go down and visit with the head coach of the Baylor Bears, Mitch Thompson. Mitch, when you look back and you look at what your team's done to get to this point, you know you probably much got to win the tournament, but y'all really have turned your corner a little bit, playing much better ball down the stretch.
Been playing good baseball here lately, swinging the bats, pitching, making plays on defense, no question. We've grown up. When you have as many at-bats and as many freshmen in the lineup as you have, it takes you a little while, and these guys have really competed hard, and we've had great leadership from our older guys.
Coach, trying to get something going against Dominic Vagley on the mound. What sort of adjustments need to be made here second time through the order?
Well, we got to simplify. We better get on a fastball. This guy, you know, you're only going to get a pitch to hit. You ain't going to get many. So this guy's good. He's we've had fits with him the last 2 years. I hope he doesn't. We don't have another fit with him the rest of this day. Mitch, thanks for time for visit. We'll get you back to work. I appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Mitch Thompson, the head coach for the Bears. Janusak will step in. Skied in the infield. Tough play, looking up into the sun. Puts it away. A little breeze blowing it around a little bit. All right, were you a guy that wore glasses? Always loved this question. Or did you ever use the flip downs?
I used the flip downs more maybe as a 10, 12-year-old because you thought they were the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But practically, I ended up going to the sunglasses, particularly playing the infield. I didn't like it a whole lot when I was playing outfield, but as an infielder, especially as many putouts as you're going to have playing first base, I like to have the sunglasses on in a day game.
Now, I had a custom pair made for me, play right field at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Trust me, you needed flip downs. Because if you put your glasses down, you had such a reflection with your glasses on, so you're better off when to flip them down as soon as the ball was hit. Pitch in there for a strike.
Yeah, there's certain ballparks, certain times a year, too.
Yes.
It just you get caught in between where you could make the argument that you would want the sunglasses, but then you put them on and it's a little bit too dark.
Pitch misses up, 2-1.
And then if you weren't hitting at the time, that then introduces a whole different
dynamic
to that conversation, because you may be doing one eye black, two eye black strips.
First base hit for the Bears. A 1-out single to right.
No, maybe that'll get it going a little bit for Baylor offensively. Break through for your first hit. It's a third base runner of the day for Baylor as well. 2 hit by pitches in the ballgame. Now add the single to it for Pearson Reebok.
had a base runner all but the second inning. Reebok will step in. Or Reebok gets the base hit. Clint steps in. He grounded to second his first time out. Outstanding play to get him out.
Well, not surprised to see a pick over too. A 12 for 12, still stolen bases on the year for Pearson Reebok. Another one of those guys. You said it earlier, but as far as pushing the envelope goes, you're going to see it from Baylor to try and muster up some offense here.
Good fastball outside corner. You can see he's a veteran guy with a ton of innings under his belt at the collegiate level. His patience and his mound presence is exceptional.
Very calm and looks completely unbothered as well. First hit of the ball game. Okay, goes into his scripts and his routines with the runner on first base. The thing that's been interesting today, the velocity has been a shade down from what we anticipated a little bit, and you don't know if he's maybe trying to get a little bit more movement on that fastball. Seen him try and run it inside on right-handers.
Good pitch there, though. Tied him up inside. Efficient. The word efficient that was his 40th pitch. Big lead at first.
It's a tough conversation because you get into that game of chess, and with a guy like this, you as successful as he's been, you heard Mitch Thompson just say it, has given the Bears fits the last couple of times they've seen him. So you want to try and drive his pitch count up, get him out of the ball game. But in doing that, you expose yourself where you're later in counts, having to deal with the secondary stuff that he has, and it's a much harder at bat. So you're trying to find that line in the middle.
Yeah, and then to add to that is he's been so efficient in the ball strike ratio that if you take a pitch, it's been a strike.
Then you find yourself down 0-1, 0-2, and it's
harder to hit.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy then at that point, which is why it's so important as you see the mix as far as balls and strikes are concerned for Vagley. So important to get out ahead early.
Chop foul. The count remains 0-2. Chased a high, hard one. Couldn't come up with it. Fourth strikeout of the ball game.
Yeah, and by taking a little bit off the fastball, you give yourself the opportunity, if you're Vagley, to go back and get another mile an hour or two on this one. Climbs the ladder, gets him to chase up, and when you're used to seeing a fastball with a little more sink, down and in, that's where your eye line starts to go. Then you get four seams up. Keith gets surprised as a hitter.
Perez will step in, hit a ball hard his first time up. Ball chopped foul. Right at the right fielder. Very few three-ball counts. He's just filled the zone up. Set. Delayed steal, throw to second base. Not in time. That's a really nice, well run delayed steal. Just really did a nice job of setting it up.
Yeah, it's tough to do it well because you've got to get the timing right on this. You see a couple of shuffles for Reebok over at first base, and then you're taking off here. What you're looking for is for the catcher, Mungarieta, behind the plate to get caught trying to frame that baseball, maybe take a strike that's out of the zone, and you catch the defense off guard. That's well done by Baylor.
Swing. Ball in the dirt, tags him out, and that ends the inning. With the fifth strikeout of the ball game. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Jayhawks out in front, 2-0. ESPN is the home of MLB.TV. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand when using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLBTV. We go to the home half of the fourth. 2-0 Kansas here. First pitch from Wallace in there for a strike. Keith Morrill, Connor Wahanen. Glad you're with us. Game 2 of 4 here today. The quarterfinals in this single elimination tournament. You win, you move on to tomorrow. The winner of this one will take on the Oklahoma State Cowboys, who advanced earlier this morning against Central Florida. Pitch just misses outside. Buck steps back in. Strikeout victim his first time up. Breaking ball misses downstairs. Other than one pitch, Wallace has pitched very well.
Guy's doing a really good job right now of hanging around in there. Yeah, you take off the home run that was allowed to deep left field. The scoreboard maybe looks a little different, but navigating this Jayhawk lineup pretty cleanly right now. Not a guy, again, as we talked on, that has a ton of strikeouts on the season relative to his innings pitched, but he picked up 5 punch-outs here today.
We'll do it again with a 3-2 count. Off of the fist. Tough play, looking up into the sun. Going over. Going back, Reebok able to make the play for out number 1. So a nice job right there. Forcing the batter to swing the bat and getting it out.
Well, and you said it earlier about Baylor and where they are as far as needing to make a run through the championship game here to sneak their way into the NCAA tournament. It's going to be all hands on deck, and so the leash for everybody on the mound, you have to think, is going to be very short for Mitch Thompson and the staff.
Yeah, and if you can find one that's getting out, so you're going to ride him.
Absolutely.
Because you lose today, there's no tomorrow. Just misses outside.
Yeah, you're not worried about setting up tomorrow's game or worrying about the championship. You deal with that when you get to that point. You've got to survive and find a way to make it through this set of 9 innings here today.
Back takes that pitch for a strike. Walked his first time up. Pitch right at the bottom of the zone, and the count evens. You played in a lot of games. I played in a lot of games. When you see this, when you see your opponent's pitcher, ball on the ground, across the diamond, does get the out. But when you see you're going to the mound and you see your opponent pitching as well, as Vogel is, you got to match that as a pitcher. You got to match that intensity and say, I know I can't give up any more if I got any chance for my team to win.
Yeah, and especially with what Baylor's trying to figure out offensively. Obviously, just the one hit through 4 innings here so far. You know, for Wallace, if you can hang around and just keep him in it, you give yourself that chance. We saw how quickly runs can get put up in this conference, and that's everybody top to bottom. Now, it may look a little bit different, right? Baylor's not going to sit there and slug the same way that Oklahoma State will. But the runs can come in droves and fat. You've got to keep it close for that reason. You never know which run's going to be the one that separates it.
Just misses there. One and two now. Chopped on the ground. Cross the diamond. 1, 2, 3. Go to Jayhawks. Here in the fourth, we go to the top of the fifth. 2-0 Kansas. Nothing Jayhawks as we go to the top of the fifth inning. We get this opportunity to go down and visit with Dan Fitzgerald, the head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks. And Skipper, one of the things that right off the bat, when you've got a junior that is effective as your right-hander is right now, just talk to us about what he meant to this ball club and what he means to this ball club.
Well, he's been in a rotation for 3 years, and he's got 40-some starts under his belt, and he's such a great competitor and such a great worker and a great teammate and all the things that we want in a Jayhawk. So to have him open up a tournament is a big deal, and he's doing a great job.
Coach, it's been a heck of a run for you guys this year through the regular season and well documented. What's been the secret sauce for this club? It seems like it's been a different guy every night for you guys.
Well, Connor, I think that's it. I think it has been a new guy every night, and that's kind of been the thing that's moved us along. I think the common trait, probably like all those amazing TCU teams you were on, is these guys are great teammates and they love each other, and they care a ton about being a Jayhawk, and it's way more about the team than it is the individual for all these guys.
Well, you guys, your resume is already in great shape, but you're playing for another trophy, so it means something to come play in one of these tournaments.
Absolutely, and especially in a conference like the Big 12 that's just so storied in its history, and you know, you only get a certain number of cracks at the championship each year. You got the regular season, you got a conference tournament, and then obviously there's the postseason, but it's a special conference, and very blessed to coach this group of guys.
Well, thanks for taking the time. We'll get you back to work. Thanks for the visit.
Thanks, guys. Rock Chalk.
Just one of those guys that you can sit and talk to a long time about baseball.
And has seen so much of it, and has made each stop that he's been at a better place. Had so much success over in the Metroplex at Dallas Baptist, made a stop at LSU. And now, obviously, what he's done the last 4 years in Lawrence, back-to-back Big 12 coaches of the year for Dan Fitzgerald. It's been a fantastic run up in Lawrence.
This ball chopped on the ground. Throw across the diamond. The defense has been good so far. Let's take a look at, Kansas, in my opinion, has done enough already going into this game to be a regional host. But you look at the RPI ranked, you see the record. I mean, if they go on to win this one, they'll have 40 victories under their belt. It's going to be hard pressed for me to believe that they're not going to be one of the top 16.
Yeah, and the only reason the numbers look like they do right now, that 15 national seed projections, because of a sweep last week, or a couple of weeks back against West Virginia, that knocked the Jayhawks out of the projections, at least for the top 8 national seeds. But this is a team that has really, over the last month or so, has been up in that conversation.
Yes.
And for a large portion of the season, Keith was talked about as the only Big 12 host representative. I don't think that they've done anything to play themselves out of that spot.
I totally agree. Plus, by the way, you're the Big 12 champion, regular season champion. I mean, obviously the bid goes to the tournament champion, but the regular season champion of the Big 12's. When's the last time? Put it this way: when has the regular season champion not been a host of the Big 12? It'd be a long time to find that number.
Well, no hosts from the Big 12 last year.
Yes.
So that's you actually don't have to look that far back. However, your point is exactly right, because if you would have looked, gone back to the beginning of the 2025 season and said out loud that, hey, our one host representative over the next 2 seasons is going to be the Kansas Jayhawks, I don't know if anybody outside of the locker room in Lawrence would have agreed and signed off on that.
I would agree. And
it gives a ton of credit to what has been built up there. But I'm with you. I think the resume is fantastic. I think the way that they play the game, you got a little bit of look into the culture of what the program is. Hearing Dan Fitzgerald talk about it.
Fouled away by Johnson.
I would fully expect, and I know Lawrence is sure hoping that there's baseball there next week.
Really cool setting if you've not been. I know Jayhawk fans would love to see that happen. It will be hopping if that's the case. Ball hit on the barrel, but playable to center. Owens over a few steps. Puts it away for the second out of the inning. Klaus will step in. Was hit by a pitch and stole a bag his first time up. Boy, that is efficient.
Yeah, I'd be smiling too if I was 41 out of 57 in the strike category. Just that is comfort on the mound at its finest, and a guy that is very comfortable in how he's going about his business.
It's sort of a stress-free environment. I mean, and pitching is not stress-free.
No, but I think the look on the mound that you get right now, even with just the follow-through, it's not lack of intent for Vegley. That's just the level of comfort that he has on the mound right now.
His fastball's sinking, his slider's moving. Great mound presence. Defense is playing well. Hate to say it, looks like a walk in a park. The 1-1 downstairs. Breaking ball. Catches the corner. And the count evens.
You can hear why Mitch Thompson used the phrase he was giving us fits, because it's not going to just necessarily blow you up with velocity or stuff, but the pitchability has been fantastic here all afternoon.
Breaking ball chopped on the ground. Sometimes pitchers develop a pattern. All hitters study and look. It hasn't been a pattern. I mean, there was a 2-1 breaking ball, but the previous 2 hitters, it was 2-1 sinker. So it's just all around the zone with different velocities and movement.
And the other thing is in a situation like this now, Landcloss at the plate fouling off a couple of pitches. about to see his 6th pitch of the at-bat. He's not going to try and force the issue. He's going to continue to stick on his game plan, and I'm going to throw it in there over the strike zone. Maybe because you've got a ball to play with, you get a little bit more fine, but Vagley is a guy that's just going to continue to fill it up.
Muscles it to right field. Second hit of the ball game for the Bears. Get back to the top of the order. Nice job right there. Just staying inside it, muscling it to right field.
And when you're throwing that many strikes, that's going to happen every now and then. But as you're moving through these innings, you're not racking up free bases. You're not filling it up with hit batters or walks. You give up a single with 2 outs here. Be able to just get right back to your game plan if you're Vagley.
On the top of the order, 3rd time through the order now as Sanders will step in. Breaking ball misses for ball 1. The 1-0. Breaking ball hit on the ground. Going to have to go across the diamond on the run. Just in time. Outstanding play. LeBlanc does his job. And out of the inning are the Jayhawks. We're halfway home. 4.5 in the books. Jayhawks lead it 2-0.
Real fun. Just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
Never met a player who got the opportunity to go to Omaha to the College World Series. Didn't think it was a experience of a lifetime, and I know you're absolutely the same.
Yeah, it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience that I feel so blessed to have gotten to do 3 times in the time. It's a festival of college baseball. It's a celebration, but then you also get this sport at this level at its highest point, because you're either there because you're playing your best baseball, or you're there because you've been one of the best teams all year.
You're right, but you still have had to win 2 tournaments to get there. So those 8 teams all have accomplished something just to be one of the 8 participants. Breaking ball misses outside. 9-1-2 due for Kansas here. As you got to give Wallace credit. Other than the 2-run homer he surrendered in the 2nd, he's really done an outstanding job himself on the mound. It's been a quality start to this point.
Yeah, the question right now for Zach Wallace, can he just continue to hold the line a little bit? He's doing his job. He's absolutely doing his job. You give up the 2-run homer, but that's it. That's okay. The question is, offensively, can Baylor start to figure something out? And with the way that Vagley is throwing right now, it's going to be very tough to muster that up.
And Wallace just comes back out and says, hey, what you can do, I can do better. Other than the 1 pitch, that is his 5th strikeout for Wallace. His pitch counts is in pretty good shape too. This is a good bender right here.
Yeah, I see him snap one off at the bottom of the zone there. A firmer breaking ball for Zach Wallace. Not afraid to challenge these Jayhawk hitters.
This ball hit hard to left with some carry. Get out of town. Mistake with a breaking ball. And the 17th of the year for Tyson. 3-0 Kansas.
They've done it a number of different ways all season long in the Big 12. Have the Kansas Jayhawks. Couple of home runs today. And their first team all-conference performer, LeBlanc. See him pull his hands through on that ball, Keith. What a piece of hitting to put this into the bullpen. Couple of long balls for the Jayhawks here.
Well, it was a hanger. Sometimes with a hanger, you jam yourself with it because, oh, there it is. But he got his hands back in, just like you said. It got the barrel to it. Drove it out of here. 4th hit, 3rd run for the Jayhawks. It wasn't very much celebration as there was the first time.
Yeah, I'm paying attention to that warning from earlier.
Two and 1 to Owens. This ball hit hard to left field with some carry. Back to back, get out of towns.
Now 2 of their guys with double-digit homers on the year going back to back. It was number 20 for Tyson LeBlanc. It's number 13 for Tyson Owens. And just those 3 swings now, but they've generated all 4 runs for the Jayhawks. A couple of pull side homers to left field, but this one some backside power here. Gets a pitch that's up. Owens extends through this baseball, and another one heading out into the bullpen and left.
Wallace had been really good up to that point. Next 2 mistakes. All 4 runs off of homers. Bullpen starting to get active for the Bears.
Got 1 out here in the 5th. This is when it starts to get a little contagious offensively. You get that long ball virus. You've seen 3 of them fly now, and if these pitches start to continue to stay elevated a little bit, you start to see these Kansas hitters continue to be aggressive.
4-0 now. Aldridge just hammers this back up the middle, and all of a sudden Wallace, that 3rd time through the lineup, Jayhawks have made some adjustments.
You can see very clear plan going to the plate here 3rd time through, and that's a lot of pitches and a lot of information that's being shared over in that 3rd base dugout for Kansas right now, getting some A swings off here in this bottom half of the 5th inning.
Back off. Step in, 1 for 2 in this one. He singled, grounded to first. Breaking ball misses. Double barrel action. Actually just a left-hander throwing, a right-hander working a little bit, loosening his arm. Left-hander is up and throwing with a purpose. Backdoor breaking ball, nips the corner. And it's 1-1. This is down and in.
Oh, we said it earlier, but the leash is probably going to be pretty short for anybody that's on the mound here for the Baylor Bears because of what they're playing for. The stakes as high as it could possibly get for Baylor today.
Dykoff out in front of it. Fouls it off. It's 2-2. Stahl is the left-hander up in the Bear bullpen. And this ball hit hard, foul down the left field line.
All the fans trying to find the shade here today.
As quickly as they can. Fooled me. Fooled Buchanan. Thought he was going. Ball was fouled off.
Now started and stopped. Must not have liked the jump over for Baldridge at first base. You'll see that sometimes in a first and third situation to try and find out what sort of defense that is going to be played. That's one that it looked more like was starting to try and take second, but shut it down because he didn't like it.
That's it. I'd have left a skid mark with one of those cleats. Said, I better throw the brakes on. He's definitely got Wallace's attention now. Skied in the infield. Looking up into the sun. Putting it away for the second out of the inning. In the second inning, scoring started with one huge swing of the bat.
Yeah, and it was the biggest swing that we've seen of the day. The first of a few home runs now for Kansas. A 2-run shot for the catcher, Augusto Mungarrieta. It was his 14th of the year, and RBIs number 43 and 44 for him.
On the ground by the first baseman. Armstrong couldn't make the play. Runners will move first to third. That ball was hit crisply. Armstrong couldn't secure it. Now runners at first and third here with 2 outs.
Now this is one as a first baseman. It gets on you in a hurry here. You're holding the runner at first base, so you're already shifted in near that cut of the grass. And you're not expecting the ball to come off this hot that way, that inside out swing. So it catches you, can surprise, it stuns you a little bit, is Armstrong, who could play some sure-handed first base. This one gets by him into right field.
With a left-handed hitter, you anticipate that ball coming at you. A right-handed hitter, you never anticipate the ball jumping at you from that side, and that may be all for Wallace. As Mitch Thompson on his way to the mound to get his right-hander, as there is going to be a pitching change here. Kansas with a 4-0 lead. We'll give you the new picture when we come back. Jayhawks out in front by 4. sophomore Zach Wallace really did a pretty good job in this ball game. Hurt by threes, a 2-run shot, 2 solo homers. Allowed 7 hits. He only walked a batter. He gave his team an opportunity here through the 4 2/3 inning.
Yeah, he hung around in there, and you take those 3 pitches out of the ball game, very different, I think. And Zach Wallace having to go toe-to-toe with the way Wigley is performing on the other side is a tough task, but he hung in there. And you get a look at the numbers for Stefan Stahl, the senior, making just his 7th appearance of the year, only 12 1/3 innings of work for him. And we said it's going to be all hands on deck for Baylor. Stahl, the latest to take the mound.
Lefty-lefty matchup here. First pitch hits him with a breaking ball, and that's going to load the bases. It's behind a slider, backs up, and all of a sudden, Jayhawks have him loaded.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Just not around it enough in order to bring it back over home plate. You see a big looping curveball there, not a whole lot of velocity on that pitch, but trying to bring it back over the plate. 73 miles an hour.
Bases loaded. The 1-0. Change up in there for a strike. Shorterbox steps back in. Pitch just misses inside. Now ahead in the count. It's a big out. Bears want to stay in this ball game. They need an out right here. Upstairs. 3-1.
Now, so far the damage has been limited to just the 2-run home run and a couple of solo shots, but where you've got this amount of traffic on the base pass is when it can start to snowball a little bit.
Fastball in there for a strike, and it's a full count. Runners will be off with the pitch. Advantage, Jayhawks. Runners will be moving here. 8th batter of the inning. Set. The payoff. Just misses the outside corner. And that walks in a run. 5-0 Jayhawks.
And this is really close. The full count trying to go away. You can see it just a shade off the plate. Love the height on it right above the knee, but just a little bit too far outside to get the call. It's another run for Kansas.
Serve step in. He has reached on an error and grounded to third, so 0 for 2 in this one. The 1-0 delivery in there for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. A hit batter and a walk out of the bullpen. Off at the end of the bat, foul. And it's 1-2.
Oh, nice job of pulling the string on that, because you saw the swing that Osorio got off. He's looking to put another ball into that bullpen out in left field.
Downstairs, that ball gets away. It's a long way back to the screen, and a run will score. Connor, you mentioned it is a ton of room behind home plate here. A wild pitch moves everybody up 90 feet.
And anything that just squirts away like that is not in danger of ricocheting off of that brick backstop that you see back there. This one is in the dirt. Braden Buchanan gets a little bit of it, but this is a long way for him to run. You can see that run comes home before he even makes contact with the baseball.
Bears have the bullpen up again, and right-hander starting to throw. This thing's slipping away here. 6-0. 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs and a full count. Swing and a miss out of the inning. but not before damage done by the Jayhawks.
Now back-to-back at the top of the lineup for Tyson LeBlanc and Tyson Owens. 6-0 Kansas here in Surprise.
You are watching the 2026 Big 12 Baseball Tournament on ESPN. From Surprise Stadium, Surprise, Arizona, voted for the second year in a row the best spring training home of any major league clubs, and it is for two of them, the Kansas City Royals and the Texas Rangers. We are going to the top of the sixth on this quarterfinal day. 4 ball games today. If you're just tuning in, Oklahoma State came up with a victory in the first ball game of the day. Kansas now with a 6-0 lead as we go to the top of the 6th inning. And it will be 2, 3, and 4 due for the Bears. Armstrong takes that pitch outside. Count evens at 1-1. I got a question for y'all. Have y'all seen a 3-ball count from the Kansas pitcher?
It's been a while if we have seen one. I mean, you look at the pitch count. You said the word before, and it's efficient. That's exactly what it has been, by definition. 18 pitches in the 5th inning for Dominic Vegley was the most that he had in any one inning by a wide margin.
This ball skied to center. Under. First out of the inning. So 1 gone here. They have a new left fielder. We will get to that as we figure out who that is. Janusak will step in, hit by a pitch, and pop to short.
Yeah, you got to look there at Savion Flowers out there in left field now for the Jayhawks.
The 0-1. Still has some velocity. Threw it by him right there. It's quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. No 3-ball counts in the ball game for the Kansas right-hander. And he went around. 6th strikeout of the game. What a performance.
Yeah, you're getting a look at what it means to pitch right now. You saw him go back and get 95. He has it in there when he wants to, but we've not seen it but more than a couple of times. And then he snaps this off down and away. But how good Brady Janusak has been, carried a lot of the load for Baylor offensively. A big game yesterday. Vegley picks up his 6th punch out of the day. This is a master class in pitching right now for the junior.
Yeah, it's just great mound presence. He's got a great rhythm. Get the ball and go. Get the ball and go. Changing speeds and throwing strikes. In the background, you can hear it. This ballpark is very close to Luke Air Force Base. We do get a few military jets coming by time to time.
They're not afraid to announce their presence either.
No, they're skied to center, playable. And a 1-2-3 quick inning here in the 6th. So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Kansas with a 6-0 lead. Eastern Conference Finals tonight. The Knicks, the Cavaliers. Game 2 coverage begins. NBA tip-off at 7 p.m. Eastern. Then the game at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 6-0 Kansas. As trying to add to it here. Flowers will lead it off. Pitch on the ground. Nice play, throw, good tag. Armstrong, he didn't think he got him. And they're going to want to review this as Armstrong thinks that he got the tag. Umpire says no. We'll have a review here.
It sure looked like it from our vantage point. I thought he got that tag on Flowers as he was coming by. It's a heck of an effort by Tice Armstrong at first base to come off, and when that throws up into your glove side like that, you're jumping up, but at the same time coming down to try and sweep tag as that runner's coming across. There's a lot to navigate and keep yourself out of harm's way.
Yeah, you and I both have seen some of those first base arms get drugged back. Here's the first opportunity to take a look at it. And it looks like to me he got a piece of him.
I thought so too.
I think he gets him on the left arm.
Yeah, I think you can see it move a little bit there
before he gets to the bag. We'll see one more time. Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt on that.
This should be a short review.
Haven't mentioned the front end of that play. Pearson Reebok, a great job at second base to get to that ball, at least get it in the vicinity as you're running that Jeter jump play up the middle. Again, called safe over at first base. And that's,
I think there's contact right there.
Looks pretty clear to me. Although I'm batting about 150 on these reviews on the season. And man,
you wouldn't be in the lineup then, right?
It has been an ugly 150 too. It's unproductive outs.
Not moving any runners.
No, we're doing nothing. quality at bat percentages down there too, but
well, this is taking a little longer.
yeah, they're still looking at it.
We anticipated.
I said it before, but the mentality for Kansas right now, you're trying to leave absolutely no doubt at all. And I have to think the message from Dan Fitzgerald, and what do you say to your team that won the regular season? We'll see what the umpires say here.
He is out at first base, so it will not cost the Bears a review. He goes 4-3. A chance to look at it again. It just looks like he made contact right there with that left arm.
Yeah, it sure does. A great effort by Tice Armstrong. Saw him have to reach up and with the jump and then come back down to get the tag with as fast as Flowers is moving. Yeah, but I have to think the message for Kansas right now, it's almost like if you can tell your team that there's a committee out there that is looking for a reason to take you out of a host spot. Let's leave no doubt here to motivate your team through the next few days.
Well, they've got a marvelous performance on the mound. They've hit 3 balls out of the ballpark.
Yeah, the other thing that we've not mentioned either, Brady Ballinger not in the lineup today for Kansas, is missing the conference tournament this week with a hamate bone injury in that hand. But according to Dan Fitzgerald, the intent is to have him back in the lineup. This guy's played 55 games this year for the Jayhawks, has been a staple.
Yeah. With the walk, 1 out base runner. You know, that old phrase is you got to step up when you have one of your guys down. And so far we've seen that.
It's just got to be next man up. We talked about the laundry list of injuries that Oklahoma State was dealing with and others in the conference as well. You're battered around this time of year, and with the limited roster spots, you don't have a minor league to go pull from.
You sure don't.
So you've got your guys, and you've got to find a way to make it work.
And very few schools anymore have those two-way players that can help you either on the mound or in the field. Quickly 0-2 to Owens. He comes back with the fastball and gets the strikeout. Second strikeout for the lefty since coming into the game. I'll just step in. Cade has struck out, been hit by a pitch, and singled. So he is 1 for 2 as he steps in here. 4th plate appearance of the ball game. This ball chopped foul. The count evens. I love your term you were just talking about, Connor, is leave no doubt. I mean, the tournament committee, I mean, obviously it's objective of who those top 16 are, the best 16 teams. And actually, you're going to have quad 1 and you got quad 2. Who are those 17 through 32 teams as well?
Yeah, and if you're new to the tournament and wondering how it works, how big of a deal is that to be one of those host institutions?
It's gigantic.
Arguably the biggest deal, and you're playing at least the regional round. If you're a top 8 seed, you're guaranteed a super regional if you make it that far. But being able to play in that regional tournament at home is such an advantage.
Stolen base. Well, you get your home crowd because you're used to playing in that ballpark. You know the wind. You know everything that's going to take place because you played. All these teams play, at least 30 to 32 games at home. So it is a huge advantage.
You're not having to travel. You're in your same routine. You get to sleep in your own bed at night. There's so many things. And to go along with exactly what you're talking about, I think the biggest thing is the atmosphere there, too. You've got your home field advantage. It's really interesting playing in those and then going to the College World Series where it's a neutral site.
And it's adjustment for some clubs to make that adjustment to go play at a different ballpark.
Yeah, 2016 played in the Super Regional at Texas A&M, and that's one where they're on top of you, and it's loud the whole time, going to 3 games, and we ended up coming out of that. You get to the College World Series, and
it's a piece of cake.
It's great.
2-2 again. Breaking ball, high chop on the ground. Going to be a tough play. Long throw across the diamond, not in time. Runner hung up. No, he gets back in time. Armstrong did a nice job come off trying to do a sweep tag, but with that high chop, it was going to be a difficult play. And Sanders did everything, really. He had to catch and throw in the same motion.
Yeah, this is the highest one that we've seen so far. You get a look at how high this ball chops up. Sanders got to wait for that to come down. Armstrong trying to sweep tag again. Now you saw LeBlanc on the back end of this, took a turn because with 2 outs, are you spinning the whole time? But you got to keep an eye on that just in case it's an errant throw. Has his head up, he's able to get back. So Kansas lives for another at bat here with runners on the corners. That should be an infield single for Baldridge.
That's what I would call it. Lefty-lefty matchup here. A huge swing and a miss for strike 1. Runners at first and third. 2 gone here, top of the 6th. Got it by him. And it's quickly 0-2 here. Wyckoff steps back in. Lefty-lefty matchup here. There goes the runner. Swing and a miss, got him. And that ends the frame. 3rd strikeout. 6 in the books. Kansas with a 6-0 lead.
Now the right-hander Dominic Bagley has been nothing short of spectacular today for Kansas. 6 clean innings so far, just 2 hits that he's allowed. It's been a masterclass of pitching on the mound. 55 pitches of 77 have been inside the strike zone, and he has been giving this Baylor lineup fits all day today.
No 3-ball counts. That is phenomenal. There's game summary on the backside. Jayhawks have found a way to hit the ball in the ballpark and have 6 runs in the ball game. Just an outstanding outstanding job on the mound. One of the best pitch games we've seen all season long. 22 batters faced, 2 hits, 2 hit batters, 18 retired. He's thrown 78 pitches now with that pitch to start the top of the 7th. Clements will lead it off. 5, 6, 7 due for the Bears here. Count evens at 1-1.
It's been about as stress-free as you could ask for Vegley out there on the mound. Is doing everything that you would want to see. Getting ahead. The no 3-ball counts. I mean, you've not even put yourself in a position where you've had to make a big pitch like that.
And he's had a good mix. I loved what you noticed earlier when he's needed to. He's pitched in the 91, 92, there, but when he's needed 94, 95, he's had it.
He goes back there and get it. You can see that there's very clearly more in the tank as well, but
this one stays up. Count evens at 2-2.
You learn that, and you again was the Big 12 Freshman of the Year a couple of years ago. And we talk about it all the time. And if you go and chart batting practice, even during batting practice, you may have guys really good round. You're hitting 500.
You're right. You're right. Now that is his 7th punch out of the day.
So if he can live in the strike zone as regularly as he has been today, and you're going to start to rack up some strikeouts like this with just the way that he's throwing the ball, number 7 on the day for Vegley. But if you're pitching to contact, you're doing it in a spot where it's out of harm's way, not over the plate or up and elevated. You're going to let these hitters at this level get themselves out.
Perez goes the other way. This ball's going to get down for an opposite field single. So a 1-out base runner for the Bears.
That's a really nice piece of hitting for Dylan Perez, going the other way with this. You know, again, a classic example of you're only going to get one pitch probably to hit. That's a quality pitch that you want to swing at. If you get it early, you got to take that opportunity. Perez is the 3rd hit of the day for a Baylor Bear.
Catcher steps in. First pitch in there for a strike. Again, an 0 for 2. Strikeout. Misses inside. Count evens. He's got it by him with a 2-seamer. And it's 1-2.
It's pretty. That heater down right below the knees is fun to watch.
Got him with a breaking ball. 8th of the ball game for the Kansas right-hander.
He's punched out as many as 15, and he's done that twice this year. So the strikeouts are something that he's accustomed to. Now you pair this with that fastball that was down below. You figure that you've got to offer at it there if you're Braden Buchanan, but then it just falls off the table. That's good pitching, Keith.
It is. Ty Johnson steps in. I would think, don't know that, but 88 pitches now. I would think this is, if he can get this last out, that his day could be done with a masterpiece. It's just, with no 3-ball counts, that's something you just don't see.
Yeah, it's very rare to it sounds like it's a Greg Maddux stat of some sort.
You're right. Got it by him upstairs. 1-2 now. Shift employed by the Jayhawks to the right side of the infield. This is outside and the count evens. The 2-2. And we have a 3-ball count for the first time in the ball game.
Right here, bud.
Runner will be off with the pitch here.
He just wants to make it a little interesting.
The runner goes 3-2 delivery. This ball hit well down the right field line. He's got a chance to get down with the runner moving. Rounding third and headed to the plate. And the Bears are on the board.
Bears playing spoiler on the shutout for Vagley here in the 7th inning. Ty Johnson does a great job, goes down in front and hooks this ball down that right field line into the corner. And you said it, the runner's on the move. That run's going to have a great chance to come around and score. It looked like if this ball was thrown to the cutoff man down near first base, there's potentially a play at the plate here, but Kansas electing to go straight to second. They'll allow that run to score with the lead that they have. That'll bring Brandon Scott out of the dugout for the Jayhawks.
93 pitches on the day. First runner to obviously score. Only the second runner to get to second base, and then he comes in to score. Now the third runner, Johnson, to second base. So just a masterful performance. Shutout is gone. Monday, catch some afternoon Major League Baseball on ESPN. The Yankees head to Kansas City to take on the Royals. First pitch at 3:30 Eastern Time. Catch it live on ESPN, or you can watch the game streaming on the ESPN app. They will stay with the right-hander here. Will the Jayhawks? 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error for Baylor. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Kansas. Close will step in. He has been hit by a pitch and singled. So he has not been retired today. Top of the order in the danger part of this Baylor lineup awaits on deck. Catches the outside corner. Luke Air Force Base is not far away, and you can hear it. This ball hit well to center, but playable, and that will end the 7th for the Bears. But they do get on the board. They come up with a run on 2 hits. 7th inning stretch time here from the desert. 6-1 Jayhawks. The journey to the Women's College World Series continues with the Super Regionals. It's Florida versus Texas Tech, Saturday at 12:30 Eastern on ABC, ESPN, and streaming on the ESPN app. Trying to punch their ticket to Oklahoma City, and out of the bullpen comes Grayson Murray, the right-hander for the Bears.
Well, the right-hander Murray on. He makes his 25th appearance of the year. The numbers for him, the 29 punch-outs, but has walked 20 over 27 and 2/3 innings of work. And Baylor able to scratch across their first run in the top half of the 7th inning. Got 2 offensive ABs left. You have to keep that target at 6 that you're chasing for the Bears, and that's Murray's job coming into the ball game here, is do whatever you can to keep the Jayhawks at that 6-run mark.
Foul back for strike 1. When you play as well as Kansas played all season, they've been really good once they got a lead and going into the 8th inning. Ball popped up, tough play. There's not a catcher in America that doesn't say thank you when the third baseman says I'll take it when that ball goes up around home plate.
Yeah, you are waiting to hear those magic words.
Yes,
I got it, I got it, I got it.
I didn't say nothing. You got it. You come get it. So 1 gone here, 2 pitches.
I don't think any complaints from Braden Buchanan there behind the plate.
No, sir. Bach will step in. Was hit by a pitch his last time up. 0 for 2 in this one. Just misses. 2 balls and no strikes. It's hard to describe to you folks. He actually steps to the first base dugout, pitches from the very far part of the first base dugout, and slings across his body. I mean, not with his body's opening and he's underneath going toward home plate. It's an unusual delivery.
Yeah, it's very unique trying to get just some angle on the delivery here. You won't see a lot of right-handers that far over with that sort of stride. I guarantee you he's getting fresh dirt on that mound where his plant foot is ending up.
Yeah, because there's nobody that far over. Does lead to a 1-out walk. Slutterback will step in. He has walked twice and grounded to third. So Dillon steps in here. This ball chopped foul. When guys have unusual release points as a hitter, Connor, which are things that you're really trying to concentrate, because hitters I know want to pick the ball up at a release point, and that way they can figure out what spin is coming.
Yeah, you know, this is one where you're gonna get to see the baseball probably for a long time, just as a hitter, where when everything opens up like that, you're gonna have a view on it. Now that you then got to put that into action and put a good swing on the baseball. You know, when you've got an atypical release point, you're trying to simplify it the best you can. You see sometimes those guys with a little bit of hitch in the motion, they have some success. You know, this sort of arm angle, you know, as a right-handed arm, everything's going to be running. As a left-handed hitter, you know, everything's going to be running away from you.
Yeah, it's not coming to you.
Right. So you can get out over the plate a little bit, and early in the count, challenge him to try and beat you in.
The 1-1. Ball chopped on the ground, a high chopper. Going to be tough to get an out. Really nice play. Almost turned 2. That was an exceptionally well done play by Sanders. Just go across. He's running full speed toward third base. Sort of came under his arm and his glove underneath to get an out at second base.
I don't know how he got near enough on this to even make this close on the turn. A potential double play. Yeah, you see him just kind of flipping it completely across his body, and the fact that he's almost playing true third base by the time he lets go of that ball with all his momentum going away from second. Reebok trying to turn that. The fact that that's even close, heck of a play by Sanders is short.
I believe the Jayhawks are going to go to their bullpen. So an offensive timeout. This is not a timeout to talk about offense. This is a timeout, in my opinion, to make sure the bullpen's ready to go, because I think they're going to make a move to the bullpen here in the top of the 8th inning.
Yeah, I don't think you've got a whole lot of strategy going on here from an offensive perspective. I have to agree with you. You look at Caleb Deere starting to heat up a little bit in the Kansas bullpen and left.
Arias steps in. He has reached on an error, struck out, and grounded out. So 0 for 3 as he steps in. Big sweep and breaking ball. Count evens at 1-1. Just gets a piece of it. Count remains 1-2. All right, one last thing we haven't got to when we're talking about the regionals. We look at Kansas, who we have right here, and if they go on to win this game, they will be into the semifinals. But does the Big 12 have the opportunity to have 2 regional hosts?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you do with what West Virginia has done down the stretch, and as good as Kansas has been, and we talked about it. West Virginia sweeping a series at Kansas late in the season. That's massive from a metric perspective, but then also you talk about these are 2 teams that have been jockeying for position up at the top of the Big 12 standings all year.
All season long.
And I think West Virginia has done enough to get that spot.
Oh, that hurt. Caught him on the left hand. He'll be awarded first base. Runner was off with the play. Let's take a look at West Virginia and look at their resume a little bit. RPI is good.
And the interesting thing that we'll find out is, again, the projections at 12 national seed right now, and actually ahead of Kansas. I think that depending upon how the rest of the weekend goes, maybe I think both of these teams are in as hosts. Maybe not top 8 national seeds, but I think you're absolutely talking about 2 top 16 teams. Now, it'll be really interesting to see how that DSR ranking, that Diamond Sports ranking that is made specifically for baseball and softball, how that comes into play.
Yep.
You and I traditionally, it's been RPI that's been the big focus, but there's been an emphasis on that DSR that's supposed to weight the weekend series a little bit more than what the RPI traditionally has done.
A quick visit out. I don't think they're going to make a move here, but maybe a quick visit just to talk about it. Well, if these 2 teams, let's put it this way. I mean, there's a lot of ifs in this, but if we get to Saturday and the championship game is between Kansas and West Virginia, I think both of them put themselves in great position to say, I think they're 2 regional hosts.
Yeah,
they're going to be in the argument.
Yeah, you go back to leaving no doubt. I think if that is the scenario and those 2 teams are playing when this tournament comes to a head in the championship game, I don't think that there is an argument otherwise. That those are 2 of the top 16 teams in the country, the way that they have been playing, not only all year, but then in their conference tournament as well.
Back to a breaking ball in there for a strike to Flowers. And it's quickly 0-2. Just misses with a 2-seamer. And it's 1-2. This one chopped back up the middle. It's going to get into center. Throw goes back into second base. And the Jayhawks have answered with one of their own here in the bottom of the 7th.
That's what the great teams do. They respond when they get punched, they punch right back, and that has been the hallmark of this Kansas team really all season long. It's what led them to the regular season conference championship. Baylor breaks through for a run in the 7th, but they get it right back here through the Jayhawks in the bottom half.
Yeah, they get back to their All-American shortstop. First pitch in there for a strike. He is 2 for 3, homered, singled. He's been outstanding. Skies this in the infield. Looking up into the sun, tough play. Armstrong calls for it, puts it away, and that ends the frame in the 7th. Jayhawks do get on the board. We go to the 8th. Kansas up by 6. After this one ends, about 40 minutes afterward, West Virginia and Kansas State, game 3 of the day, here on a 4-game day. Quarterfinals, the nightcap. Arizona will take on the Bearcats of Cincinnati. All winners will meet up tomorrow in the semifinals. To the bullpen go the Jayhawks. It is Ryan Ritter. He's a sophomore, Rogers, Minnesota native. As he comes on here, what a job though by the Kansas starter.
Yeah, we'll talk about vaguely after you get a look at the numbers for Ryan Ritter, a guy that's been in the game quite a bit. 34th appearance of the year for him. 7-2 record for Ritter, but I think the story of the game, no doubt, Keith, is Dominic Vagley and how smooth he was cruising through this ball game today.
Well, he was just outstanding. Gave up a run in the 7th. It will be top of the order due for the Bears here. Got to start mounting a comeback. Find a way to get some base runners. They're into the bullpen. That's the way you got to look at it. Hey, we got somebody different to look at.
Yeah, at this point, you're happy just to see somebody else out there on the mound right now. And you don't have to get all 6 here in this 8th inning if you're Baylor, but you would be very well served to try and chew off a chunk of this if you can. 2 or 3 runs, give yourself a manageable opportunity in the 9th.
Really well placed defense off the end of the bat, grounded to second. So 1 gone in the inning. It's Armstrong, who is 0 for 3, comes to the plate. Big hack comes up empty. Challenged him with a heater and just got it by him. You're a Metroplex guy. You were raised playing in the heat. Does 95 degrees when it gets warm? In baseball, supposed to be played when it's hot?
Yeah, I mean, it's hot. You definitely get used to it, though, I think. One of those days that these guys all have been hydrating for so long ahead of time, and you know what you're getting into coming out here.
Well, I know bottled waters don't go far here.
No, they do not.
They don't last.
They do not at all. I'm much more ill-equipped to handle it now than then, that's for sure.
The 2-1 almost hits him inside, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, you know, these guys, they grow up. You play in those weekend tournaments. You got 5, 6, 7 games in a day sometimes when you're playing those 6-inning affairs. That
missed outside. Something we haven't seen the Bears do in this ballgame. They have a couple of hit batters. That's the first walk issued by Kansas pitching. Janusak will step in. He was hit by a pitch. He's popped to short and struck out. It's 0 for 2. First pitch in there for a strike. The freshman from Argyle, Texas. This ball up the middle. What a great play to his right, but can't get an out. It's going to be an infield knock. That was a great effort to even get to that ball and knock it down.
Go way back earlier in the game. We saw Cade Baldridge make a similar type of effort, but it was in the hole on the right side of the infield, trying to go up the middle on this one. But yeah, just fumbled around in his glove a little bit, not able to get to it cleanly. But I'm with you. A heck of an effort to get a glove on this. Probably had a play at second base.
That's what he was thinking. He's looking for that little flip if he can do it. Buck steps in. He is 1 for 3 as he steps in. It's only the second time in the ball game they've had 2 guys on in an inning. Pitching's just been outstanding for the Jayhawks. Count quickly. Snowballs and 2 strikes.
Still hitless with runner in scoring position today for Baylor. And you feel like you've just got to have one here if you're going to give yourself an opportunity to try and get back into this ball game.
Great spot, great spot. Let's go, runner. Go, Red.
Big pitch here, 1-2. With 1 out. Tries to go back to her with a breaking ball. Misses. Count evens at 2-2. From 0-2 to 3-2 now. All of a sudden, this could get interesting here.
Yeah, Ritter falling in love with that outer corner a little bit, trying to potentially backdoor something with Pearson Reebok, the left-handed hitter at the plate.
And he misses. Second walk and issued in the inning. Now the Bears have them loaded. Bullpen is up and starting to move around for the Jayhawks.
Anytime you're trying to mount a comeback like this, again, you're looking for an opportunity to have the tying run come to the plate. You give yourself a chance to run into one. And we know this Baylor team is not a team that is going to live and die by the long ball, but there's a couple of guys at the top of the lineup, Tice Armstrong, Brady Janusek. If you get this turned around again, give them one more opportunity with the bat in their hands.
You never know. Interesting, when the pitching coach comes out and tells the rest of the team to, it's usually a one-way conversation.
Yes. That is a very politically correct way to put that,
Yes,
and I absolutely agree.
It's a one-way conversation.
It does seem like every mound visit these days, it's the entire infield coming in.
So the Bears have them loaded. Big moment right here at the top of the 8th. They need something into the gap right here to close the gap. Clements 0 for 3 as he steps in with a couple of strikeouts. Ritter set. Misses outside with a slider. And it's 1-0. Fastball chop foul. The count evens. Steps back in. Jayhawks 31-0 when leading after 7. 38-0 when leading after 8. This ball into the gap, going to be a difficult play. Cannot get to it. This is going to be down for extra bases. It's going to score a couple, and all of a sudden Bears right back in the ball game.
You just absolutely had to have it in this situation for Baylor. You could not go through this 8th inning with that traffic on the bases for the first time today and not capitalize on it.
Gotten ahead in the count, did a really nice job of riding with this. And this is a huge area to cover here in these outfields. And this is going to lead to a pitching change here in the top of the 8th. Kansas had cruised through the first 6, Connor. 1 in the 7th, and now 2 here in the 8th. We'll give you the new picture when we come back. All of a sudden, 7-3 ball game. lot of times head coaches do not like 5-out saves. Well, a 5-out save situation here for Brody Ray. He's making his 26th appearance, 5-1 record. He has earned 9 saves to this point. He has also started 2 ball games, 45 1/3 innings of work, 58 strikeouts. So he comes on here, runners at second and third, 7-3 ball game, and just like that, the Bears a base hit away from making this a nail biter.
Yeah, it's an evenly split mix for Ray on the mound. A third between a fastball, breaking ball, and a changeup that he'll flip in there to both right and left-handed hitters. He's the guy at the back end, though, for this Kansas club. Talk about it being a 5-out save opportunity. That would be number 10 on the year for him.
Perez steps in. He is lined out, struck out, and singled and scored. Had him out in front. And it's 1-1.
That's a lot of depth on that changeup, too. That fell from the middle of the strike zone down and out.
Right back to it. It's like a parachute comes out on that thing.
Yeah, it's not the closer stuff that is going to blow up a radar gun. 90, 93 on the fastball, but you see the movement that he's got on both the breaking ball and the changeup.
Did get a piece of it, but had him out in front. I'm going to get him over right here. Get that guy to third and get that run home. Contact. It's the most important thing here. Got to avoid the strikeout. On the ground. Off of the glove. This is going to score a couple. And Perez down into scoring position. You put it in play, good things can happen, and it does for the Bears.
You said it just a moment ago. You had to have something in play at the minimum in this situation. Looked like it's going to be a ground ball that's corralled over at first base by Dykhoff. Instead, it's all the way into right field. This one is kicked, and a couple of runs are able to come home. You see, it's hit hard on a few hops, but Dykhoff trying to run around this. He's got plenty of time if he's able to square the hips up, being so close. You're not making a play at the plate in that situation. Instead, this is an inning that can snowball a little bit, and what do you know, Keith? You got the tying run at the dish.
To have the tying run at the plate, Ewens is the pinch hitter. So John Ewens comes on to pinch hit. Perez at second base on the E3. Does lead to an RBI. Which is upstairs. And a 4 spot here in the 8th from the Bears. Sophomore from Waco will step back in. This ball hit hard on the ground, but a one hopper get the out. Perez moves to third. Hit it hard. 4-3 on the put out.
Now, you'd hate to get greedy, but if you're Baylor, if you could get that 6th run home and make it a 1-run ball game, this gets really interesting heading into the 9th.
Because they flip back around to the top of this order. As you talked about, could they get there? Downstairs for ball 1. Johnson steps back in. Doubled his last time up. An RBI double. 1 for 3 on the day. Nips the outside corner. Count evens at 1-1. Takes back in. In there for a strike. You see all the off spits, and then that fastball looks a 1.5 feet faster than it is.
Yeah, it sure does. you got almost a 15-mile-an-hour difference between the fastball and all that off speed.
1-2 now. Left field, back out of play. We'll do it again. Johnson digs back in. The 1-2 again. Chopped on the ground. Play to first. That ends the threat. And the top of the 8th for the Bears, but not before they put a 4 spot on the board. 7-5 ball game. We go to the bottom of the 8th.
Welcome to Squeeze Play. All the highlights, all the big moments.
Got a chance to have some big-time fireworks.
6 to 8 games on a screen at one time.
You're going to be locked in for that.
The season on the line.
Hashtag Squeeze Play. Send us some tweets. Maybe we'll put you on the So Slow.
The storybook season will continue.
Well, you got a lot of squeeze play. Bruins and Berkey getting all the updates from across all the 16 regionals across the country. At least into the game. Hooray. RJ is making a 6'1", 205-pound junior from Salina. All of a sudden, his team's back in the game. So we have some substitutes we'll try to get to as we figure them out. But there's a lot of changes. We were not notified, but
a totally different complexion of the game here,
yes,
though, in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Now, you don't have to look too far back as far as the game's concerned. In the 7th, it was Baylor that scratched their first run across in the top, but Kansas responded. Can they do the same thing here?
And they got the 2, 3, and 4 spots due here, and they would love to add some insurance. The left-hander, 1-1 upstairs. I know we have a new catcher, but I don't. 42 is listed on the roster. I don't know if it's who exactly that is. So we're trying to figure out who it is, because he's. So 2-2 now. Stairs he did not offer. Big pitch here. Got him fishing. Went outside the zone, did Owens, for the strikeout.
Rouet, one of those guys that Baylor loves to go to in a number of different situations. Can be a bridge guy in the middle of the ball game, but then also can take the reins in a situation like this where you have to keep this a 2-run ball game if you're the Bears. It's paramount. You've done such hard work in the top of the 8th inning to get this to a manageable deficit heading into the 9th.
This ball pull foul. It's so important. People lose it. Oh, they're right back in the game. But when you come in this situation, you just have to throw a 0 up and make sure your team does not have to chase more than they're chasing. Foul back. It's quickly 0-2. Camden Cluett is the catcher behind home plate. He's listed as a right-handed pitcher. And he's behind the plate right now. One and two. Had him out in front, comes up with the strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the bottom of the 8th. Eichhoff will step in.
That's what you've got to have here coming into this situation. You cannot flirt around with the strike zone. Rouet coming in, picking up another strikeout. The big tumbling left-handed breaky ball. You got Cade Baldridge way out in front of. Second strikeout of the afternoon for R.J. Rouet.
Rouet misses inside. Eichhoff will step in, 1 for 4. Out in front of that one with a big hack, and it's 1-1. Bender in there for a strike. Again, peeking ahead. Scheduled 9-1-2 for the Bears in the top of the 9th. Drops a breaking ball in there, strikes out the side to give his team a chance. So go to the 9th. Kansas protecting a 2-run lead. We go to the top of the 9th. Kansas with a 2-run lead. 9-1-2 due to face Ray, who has 9 saves on the season. He came on in the 8th. He is 3 outs away without giving up any runs for his 10th save of the year. On the other side, the Bears trying to keep this game going. They need 2 or 3 to take the lead. Pitch in there for a strike.
That's all you can ask for, is you giving yourself a chance, and you need one man to reach base. Give yourself a chance to run into one.
Yep, bloop and a blast. And this liner into center, and the leadoff guy on here in the ninth.
Well, he said, instead of a bloop, I'm going to shoot one up the middle and get that tying run to the plate in Travis Sanders. You saw it in the due-up, just one hit between these big three at the top of this lineup, Sanders, Armstrong, and Janusek. It's a combined 1 for 10 on the afternoon, and these guys have done so much of the lifting.
The heavy lifting.
For this Baylor lineup. This is the situation that you dreamed up if you had to come back if you're Mitch Thompson.
Sanders steps in. He is the tying run. First pitch misses outside for ball 1.
Hey, Savion, just in a little bit. In a little bit. You got room.
Baylor shortstop steps back in. Upstairs, and it's 2-0. His 5th plate appearance of the ball game. 0 for 4 as he steps in here. The 2-0. Taking all the way, and it's 2-1.
Don't have to play overly conservative if you're Baylor at this point in time. It's a 2-run deficit. You've got the tying man at the plate here. For the most part, you can play your offensive style how you want to. Still going to be selective at the plate. Sanders swinging through a fastball there. Now you'll have your normal 2-strike approach, but you're just playing baseball right now.
Yeah, no doubles. The outfield is extremely deep. Third baseman covering the line, so trying to stay away from extra base hits. Upstairs. Wow, this is a huge pitch in this game right now. Got him. Great location to get the first out of the inning. That was a great pitch.
What a pitch by Bodie Ray right there in that situation. Not a guy that's going to walk very many hitters. Goes down and out with a fastball, and you can't paint this better if you're Ray on the mound. You get Sanders to swing through it. Massive first out for the Jayhawks here in the ninth.
Big time power at the plate here. He can tie it quickly. Armstrong steps in. First pitch downstairs for ball 1. 0 for 3 in this one. He has walked and scored back in the 8th inning. 24 big flies on the year. He's driven in 64. Takes a huge hack, comes up empty.
Yeah, you get the sense he wants 25 pretty bad here right now for Tice Armstrong. It's been one of the best seasons Baylor's seen in a long time, and he's looking to add to some of that lore here this afternoon.
Downstairs.
You can tell watching him right now. He understands what Ray is trying to do to him with those off-speed pitches. The changeup that's down, the breaking balls that have been down in the zone. Armstrong not even flinching at some of those. The one pitch he swung through was a heater that was one that he wanted.
That was just a little bit above his belt. Couldn't get to it. Mitch Thompson going to use one of his offensive timeouts and talk to his veteran first baseman and his freshman outfielder. Both of them have had magnificent seasons.
Just breaking up the rhythm a little bit, sort of like ice in the kicker.
Yeah, you can do that. Second offensive timeout for the Bears. They have one left. All right, we're set to go here. Tying run at the plate, top of the ninth. 7-5 ball game. Outside, ball 3. Now, Armstrong reaches, the go-ahead run comes to the plate. The 3-1. Outside, ball 4.
I'm really impressed with the at-bat. This is a guy that had every reason to try and force that issue. And when you do that as a hitter, you chase. You chase outside of the zone of where you're really looking for the baseball, and you play into the pitcher's hand. But a patient at-bat for Armstrong, who you know wanted to go deep more than anybody else here at the ballpark. Instead, he does just that. He puts the go-ahead run now at the plate in the form of Brady Janusek, who's got a long ball here in this tournament.
Got him out in front. Patience. This is what happened yesterday in the ball game.
Yeah, see, he got one elevated and drove it deep out to left center field. 5 RBIs for Janusek yesterday.
Deepest part of this ballpark. He did not go.
This is one of those at-bats you grow up in real time and you learn through that experience. You're amped up as a freshman in this situation. You've got all sorts of adrenaline. Can you stick to your plan at the plate?
Got him anticipating a pitch there. Now you got to spread out a little bit. You have to cut down a little bit. Got to make contact. On the other side, you're looking for the punch out. The 1-2. Just gets a piece of it. Keep the at-bat alive. Ray ahead now. 1-2. Janusek steps back in. Tying runs on. The 1-2. Foul back. We'll do it again.
This game, a great example that you never know which run is going to be the one that is the decider. And it's why it's so important to continue playing regardless of what the scoreboard shows. Baylor giving themselves a chance here against the regular season champs in the Big 12.
Breaking ball gets away. Now the tying run in scoring position. That is a huge factor right there on the wild pitch.
Well, now you got 2 chances at it. You've got your freshman that has been all everything for you at the plate right now in a 2-strike count. See this one just getting away. Mungarieta behind the plate trying to get around this, just unable to do it and get his body in front of the baseball.
They're going to have a pinch runner for Armstrong. Bo Carraway is the pinch runner.
Just get some speed out there, and you have to think on any sort of base hit going to be overly aggressive.
Well, the depth of the outfielders, there's no chance to throw a runner out the plate. A base hit's going to tie this ball game. The 2-2. Got him. An outstanding pitch at the right time to get the strikeout.
You have to tip your hat to Bodie Ray in this situation. You can't luck your way in the 9 saves on the year. Knowing you've got a freshman who's going to be aggressive at the plate right now. He's flirted with the chase earlier in the at-bat. He's able to extend the plate off for out number 2.
With an open base now, left-handed hitter at the plate. First pitch in there for a strike. There's some Reebok. He's 1 for 3. He's walked, single, scored a run. Season on the line right here. The 0-1. Drops a breaking ball in there, and quickly Ray out in front. No balls and 2 strikes. Ray's 0-2 delivery. On the ground to right field. This is going to tie the game. throw coming to the plate. Not in time, and the Bears have tied it up.
Down to your last strike, and Pearson Reebok able to muscle this through the right side. You talked about the defensive alignment. He's able to get on top of this ball, shoot it through that right side. A great jump out at second base with 2 outs, and that run's going to come home. It's a great effort on this throw from Jordan Bach out in right field. Just not enough to get it, and we are all square here at 7.
Clements will step in. Doubled his last time up. Now go-ahead run at first in what is now a 7-7 ball game. 1 in the 7th, 4 in the 8th, and now 2 here in the 9th for a team that had not lost a game when leading after 8 innings. Obviously nothing's finalized here, but the Bears have worked all the way back to tie this game up.
Yeah, all 7 of these runs coming in the final third of this ball game in regulation. Through 6, it was dire offensively for Baylor.
Well, so they faced a guy that was brilliant on the mound. The bullpen has struggled. There goes the runner. Throw to second base. And he's out at second base, and that ends the top of the 9th for the Bears, but not before the Bears put a 2 spot on the board and tie it up. So we go to the bottom of the 9th in what is a 7-7 ball game. One in the 7th, 4 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th, and the Bears have tied it up. See the numbers as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. It will be 5, 6, 7 due for Kansas. Liner caught, snared at third. One coach does a great job climbing the ladder to take extra bases away.
You know, this had double written all over it. Just right place, right time, and a fantastic reaction by Landclass at the hot corner. That's why it's got that name. Mungarieta, who's already gone deep, trying to put himself in a scoring position to start this bottom half of the 9th, but instead it's out number 1.
Bach comes to the plate, swings at the first pitch, and pulls it foul. Downstairs. Count evens at 1-1. Out in front again. And it's quickly 1-2. The 1-2. Big overhand curveball. Stays upstairs, and the count evens at 2-2. Just misses inside. That's the one that's a hitter. Connor, you were a left-hander. That left-hander, you give on it, and it comes back and catches that inside corner.
Yeah, you're not expecting that pitch, especially with a couple of breaking balls that Rue had gone to.
That's a good at bat. Down in the count, was 0-2 and found a way to become a one-out base runner.
Yeah, hung around, fouling some pitches off. That's the winning run now at first base in the form of Jordan Bach.
It's Thompson on his way to the mound, and we're going to have a pitching change. Conversation.
Has he made the call yet?
I saw the pitcher walk off the mound and like he was headed. Now he's made the call.
There it comes.
We'll give you the new pitcher when we come back. 7-7 ball game here, bottom of the ninth. Bears go to the bullpen. Bunch comes into the game. He has been that guy at the back end for the Bears all season long. He has earned 7 saves, and not a save situation here, but season on the line for the Bears.
Now, this is what you do when the season's on the line. And 46 punch outs in 40 2/3 innings. It's a guy in Caleb Bunch that has been solid on the back end for Mitch Thompson's club all year. It's only a third of the time fastballs. It's a lot of breaking ball and a lot of changeup. And he does so well at making hitters uncomfortable and off speed. Through yesterday in Baylor's game here in this Big 12 tournament against BYU. Faced 7 hitters. He went 2 innings, struck out 3, 27 pitches yesterday for Caleb Bunch on back-to-back days.
Yeah, usually 35 is that one he had off. And the other part to go with that, he has had the bug as well. So not 100% health-wise. He's healthy, but not feeling well. So he comes on here. Otterbach will step in. 0 for 2. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. Walked, grounded to third, walked, and reached on a fielder's choice. So 0 for 2 as he steps in. Breaking ball misses outside. Hitters count now. Yanks it foul. And it's 2-1.
He's a guy that's just trying to keep you off balance.
Yep.
It's not trying to blow you up. It's trying to make you uncomfortable. It's a lot of weak contact that he elicits. Will get some strikeouts. Again, the 46 and 40 and 2/3 innings of work, but it's a lot of balls in play.
Breaking ball just misses. And now 3-1. Kansas, a team that does not run, so don't think you'll be off your 3-1. The 3-1 not running. Fouled off right side. This ball will get out of play. Janusak turned on the Jets right there. He shows you he can run.
And now he's got to do a quarter mile back to his spot out there in the outfield. Yeah, the other thing about not running here in this situation, Bunch, it's a legitimate slide step guy.
Yep.
So it's very quick to home plate. This is not one that even if you get a great jump on it when he starts, you don't have a whole lot of time to gain ground as a base stealer. This is one that Kansas, you figure you're going to have to manufacture and move these guys around with the bats.
Set to go here with the payoff pitch. Strike 3 call. Took something off of it. They got the call for the strikeout.
This is what's made Caleb Bunch so effective as a stopper in the Big 12. This is a slider that backs up on him a little bit. That backup slider, though, sometimes it's unintentional, but it's sometimes the most effective pitch that you're going to see. Hitters are expecting that to come back down, but it just stays up there.
Starts him out with a cutter, misses outside for ball 1. Missed in the same spot. 2-0 now.
Only thing you got to be careful about is some of these misses are up in the zone, and we've talked about what this Kansas team can do. It just takes one swing at this point in the game. You're sudden death at this stage. 7-7 in the bottom of the 9th.
Outside corner. He hits it. It's 2-1. Upstairs. 3-1 count. This ball hit to right, but playable. Coming on quickly, make a nice running catch. And that's going to lead us to bonus baseball here. The Big 12 tournament, 7-7 ball game as we go to the 10th. Well, Baylor came to bat in the 8th, down 7-1. All they did was find a way, taking advantage of some miscues, some base runners, and you look up, it's a 7-5 ball game.
You get into the 9th inning, and this is when it gets interesting because you gave yourself a chance. And they did this in the way that Baylor plays baseball. Down to their last strike, Pearson Reebok pulling this one through the right side. With 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runs come home there to tie the ball game at 7. As Mitch Thompson looks on here, we're in bonus baseball, top of the 10th inning. These teams are vying for a spot in the semifinals tomorrow.
Taking advantage of those 3 walks. That's how you get back in the ball game. Now, it just takes one to find a way to win it here. Need a leadoff base runner. Clements will step in. He doubled his last time up. So he is 1 for 4 in the ball game. Won a big one. Upstairs. Both teams closers in the game here. It's just an extended outing for Ray. Came on in that 7th inning now. Actually 8th inning. Now pitching here in the 10th.
That was going to be a 5-out save at the time. You said this when he entered. Has made a couple of starts for Kansas on the year. He's been up to as many as 89 pitches. Now, it's been some time since then. That was back at the end of March.
This ball back up the middle. Going to be a difficult play across his body. Outstanding. Nothing you can say. Second outstanding play of the ball game by Baldridge. 1 to his left and 1 to his right.
He's showing a ton of range that he has, and the jump that you've got to have to be able to get to this ball and make a play. See him pick through that on a backhand, and how little time that ball spends in his glove and in his hand. An immediate transfer and just gets out of his hand. Keith, that's what you got to do there. That's the only way that you've got an opportunity to make that play.
Perez steps in. He has hit some balls hard today. Lined out. Single. Hit a ball. Smoked the ball. It was E3 not played. It was a big part of those last 2 runs in that 4-run 8th inning. So he's hit some balls right on the button. Fastball in there for a strike. So the count even. This ball hammered but pulled foul. Back out of play.
We've not seen many balls pulled that way.
Not today.
Here in this tournament.
Now the shift by the Jayhawks. Got him. Bottom fell out of that one. 3rd strikeout for the Kansas right-hander.
You couldn't set it better. The bottom just falls right out of this breaking ball in there out of the hand of Ray. What makes him so challenging, he's got such downward depth to it, but we've seen him pinpoint fastballs at the lower part of the strike zone as well. It makes that chase even more susceptible for these Baylor hitters at the plate.
First at bat is coming into the game. Interesting, listed as a pitcher now. His first at bat in the ball game.
First at bat of the season.
Yeah, okay.
For Camden Cluett.
Breaking ball in there for a strike. And it's quickly 0-2. Just holds up. 1-2 now. back. Lives to see another pitch. Well, when your closer's into the game and he just threw his 51st pitch, he may be done for the weekend. 1-2, just misses downstairs. The count evens at 2-2.
That's some good discipline there for the emergency catcher.
No question. Swing and a miss. 1, 2, 3 go the Bears in the 10th. We go to the bottom of the 10th. 9-1-2 schedule for Kansas. Monday, catch some afternoon Major League Baseball on ESPN as the Yankees head to Kansas City to take on the Royals. First pitch, 3:30 Eastern. Catch it live on ESPN, or you can watch the game streaming on the ESPN app. As we go to the bottom of the 10th, here in a 7-7 ball games.
You mentioned it with Caleb Bunch, but he's been ill for the last 2 days, having thrown on both of those 2 days as well. Almost 30 pitches yesterday, and both of these closers in the game. You think this means something to these two programs?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. And the other part of that is it is hot. And when you don't feel good, hot's not good.
No, no.
Someplace cool. He's not cool here. He's in the heat of the moment right now. Bottom of the 10th, tie ball game. For the Bears, they win to keep their season going. Jayhawks trying to improve their status as a regional host to move on in this Big 12 tournament. Flowers came into the game. This is his third at bat since coming into the game, an RBI single. Ball misses down and in. 2-0. As Flowers steps back in. This ball hammered to right with some carry. Get out of town! Ball game!
How about a time for your first extra base hit of the year? Flowers getting every bit of this baseball. Savion says he's ready to go home and move on to the semifinals.
Well, it was a no-doubter. He got a 2-0 count, and he got something he can handle. And Connor, he didn't miss it.
And this has been the story with this Kansas team all year. It's what led them to the regular season crown in the Big 12. It's somebody new every night. We talked to Dan Fitzgerald about it. Everybody around this Kansas program is bought in. You talk about being ready to hit and catching a ball out in front like this. Savion Flowers can take a jog around the base paths, and Kansas Jayhawks will be playing in the semis tomorrow.
Most unlikely, did not start the ball game, came on in the middle part of the game, gets 2 giant hits in the game, and the Jayhawks move on to the semifinals.
This is a team that wants to play baseball at home next week, and that is what the mission that they are on here over the next couple of days. And I think that there's a good chance you're going to see baseball at Hogan Ballpark.
And take a look at the bracket as we have the first semi set, and it will be Oklahoma State, the 5 seed coming in against Kansas Jayhawks. Coming up, West Virginia, Kansas State, Arizona State, Cincinnati. Connor, I had a blast. Enjoyed it. For our entire crew, we want to thank you for watching. Final score in walk-off fashion. KU beats Baylor 8-7. For Connor 100, I'm Keith Muller and our entire crew. See ya. Enjoy it. Enjoy your evening.